There's a place in the Scottish Highlands, it's so peaceful, time just melts away. My van is packed and I'm camping at Bewley Holiday. Bewley Holiday Park, Bewley Holiday Park.
Right, it's a pretty cold day here at Bewley Holiday Park. It's been -4. We had 8 inches of snow the other day, so we'd not be able to do much work. So I get asked a lot about gas, so I thought I'd do a quick video on LPG. First question is, where does LPG actually come from? If you imagine in the distillation process of oil, a big tank, and they put crude oil in there and then they heat it up. Off the bottom of that tank they'll get tar, bitumen, ship oil, that kind of thing. Then the next level up you get diesel oil, aviation fuel and things like that. Then you get petrol, and then the gas that comes off the top of that is what we use to make LPG. So they compress it and then it's put into our cylinders in a liquid form, liquid petroleum gas. One thing that people get very apprehensive with gas is it safe? Every now and then you see images on the news of a house blowing up or something like that. When you drill into those incidents, it tends to be from bad use of gas. You know, things haven't been maintained correctly or something like that. So some of you may know I came from the marine industry. I actually know 2 people that have blown themselves up. One of which was looking for a leak with a lighter, and in that case the leak will find you. You won't find the leak, it will find you. So if you treat it with respect, it is very safe. On a motorhome or caravan, every locker that's got gas in it will have a vent at the bottom. LPG is heavier than air, so it will just fall out through that. So it's very difficult to actually get the volume of gas to actually make an explosion or something like that. I'd always recommend in a motorhome to always get a qualified engineer to look at your system at least once a year. There are other things you can do yourself. For example, changing a regulator on a barbecue. You can probably do that yourself if you're competent and confident, but again, if you're unsure, just don't do it. Okay. So we have butane and we have propane. Okay, so both very similar gases. So where would we use them differently? They're more or less interchangeable with each other. On a motorhome you'll have a regulator and you might simply change the pipes to use butane or propane. However, in cold conditions like this, butane freezes. So if you're going to be using your camper van motorhome during the winter, you're far better to using propane. The output from the gases is about the same. It's a little bit warmer from butane, but not much of a difference. One other place you might use the gases is in a cabinet heater in a house. There we would always use butane. It's technically probably possible to change the regulator and connect it to a propane cylinder, but the emissions from butane are cleaner and therefore you're less likely to get any carbon monoxide issues. As always, you should always use these kind of systems in a very well ventilated space. Something we've been asked about a lot recently is, can you refill the exchange type cylinders? The answer is definitely no. There is kits I've seen on eBay, and I see it coming up on forums on Facebook and what have you, where people have bought this kit and they just go and fill it up and they say they're saving themselves a fortune. It has caused accidents. It is potentially very, very dangerous. This is a proper refillable cylinder, and see there it says 80% overfill protection. Okay, so you don't have that in a exchange type cylinder. So you might think, okay, I'll just fill it to 80% of its capacity. the measurements on the pumps aren't that accurate, you could overfill that, which might be fine, you might get away with it, but if the cylinder gets warm, it's got no room to expand, and it'll go from 100 psi to about 1800 instantaneously, and it's going to go very, very badly. So no, these cannot be refilled. You need a proper refillable cylinder. So this is a proper refillable cylinder. This particular brand is Gas Low, which we do. I think they're the best out of all the refillable cylinders I've looked at. I've actually had them apart. The filling systems are great on them. So this is one that you can get filled at an auto gas pump. We can refill it here ourselves. So when you fill that, it automatically stops at 80%. So what applications would we use that in? Pretty much anywhere you could use the normal cylinders. You can use these, they're perfectly interchangeable. There is a cost. This particular one's about £192 at the moment. However, 6 kilo is about £15 to fill at the moment, whereas these are about 32. So if you're using enough gas, it's worth considering swapping over to a refillable system, so in the long term you probably save some money on that. So that's just a very quick look at LPG. I will be doing a few more videos specifically on the refillable systems, because that's becoming a lot more popular, but particularly with the shortages that we've had recently. So I'm going to get one of our motorhomes which has got that in, and if you follow our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that video.
My van is packed and I'm camping at Bewley Holiday Park.